I have been working on a feature that gives you the ability to sell multiple items at once. It's something the players have been asking for since beta, and now we are giving it to you. You used to have to always just sell one item at a time, which could take a pretty long time if you had many items to sell. Now you can right-click on one item or more, and then it opens up a window with those selected items. And from there you can even drop more items to the window and just with one click sell them all at once. So you can say goodbye to the click fest. Hope you enjoy it.
For Phoebe, we have been improving the sensor overlay. We have added bookmarks, personal and corp bookmarks, mission bookmarks, and landmarks. We have added a radial menu to the brackets and made them more distinguishable from each other. We also added a filter where you can filter which sites you're actually interested in. We have enhanced the overlapping resolution, so it now integrates better with space brackets themselves. We added a compass tool to the ship HUD. It allows you to see the direction and inclination of each site with regards to your ship. And it will also give you the infamous space north.
As a lot of you are probably aware, we're making some changes to how jump travel works in Phoebe. We are hoping to reduce the amount of travel that's happening through like instantaneous jumps rather than traveling through stargates the normal way. We want to see more traffic in space. We want to make it more viable for more smaller capital and even sub-capital engagements to happen without the threat of the entire universe showing up. So we are going to be bringing jump ranges down to various degrees. For most jump-capable ships, we're bringing the range down to 5 light years per jump. We're also going to be adding a small feature called jump fatigue, where as you jump, you make jumps through a jump drive or a jump portal or a jump bridge. You will accumulate fatigue. Fatigue means that subsequent jumps have a cooldown time between jumps as your brain kind of readjusts to jumping across multiple star systems at once. The further you travel in a limited space of time, the more fatigue you'll generate, and therefore the longer your cooldowns are going to be. So it's going to hopefully encourage players to use their capital ships and use their jump drives and their jump bridges for more kind of small-scale local movement, but not try and use it for long-distance travel. We're allowing capital ships to use stargates now, which is a big change. So if you want to go long distances in your carrier, you can fit some agility mods and go gate to gate if you want to. But for the most part, we are trying to constrain jump movement a little so there's more stuff happening in space and less threat from entities all over the map so that you can be more confident in making small-scale engagements. We've been doing a lot of feedback on the forums. We've been making some tweaks and adjustments. We're tweaking how the Oracle works. We've made adjustments to jump freighters based on feedback. There will be another dev blog in the next week or two giving like a final description of how things are going to be in the first release. And then obviously because we have this long-term nullsec agenda, we have changes we're making this year, we have changes we're making next year. We're going to be following through on these jump changes. We're going to be making sure that we hit our targets and tuning them as necessary.
In Phoebe, we're going to be making a change to the skill training system. What this involves is taking the 24-hour limit that's currently on the skill queues. This means that people will be able to put skills in the queue that will be longer than 24 hours many times over. That will allow people to construct a skill training queue that will go on for days, months, potentially years. The major benefit of this is it will cut down on micromanaging skill training planning. A lot of our players construct skill plans in advance, and at the moment they're only able to manage those on at the most like a monthly basis if they put a particularly long skill as the last one in the queue in the 24 hours. What this will do is let people put those plans in place, set them going, and the clock will keep on ticking no matter really what they're doing. They can go away on a holiday and leave their character training, and they come back and the skills will automatically have trained for them, and they'll be able to fly a new ship or use some new guns or whatever it may be.
As a companion to the jump changes coming in Phoebe, we're also going to be rebalancing 2 of the most important ship classes for null-sec combat, stealth bombers and heavy interdictors. We're strengthening the counters to bombing runs to ensure that a skilled fleet can defend themselves, while also giving stealth bombers a new type of bomb and extra hit points to give them more tactical options. For heavy interdictors, we're increasing their combat strength significantly, so you can bring along a heavy interdictor in a low-sec roam without having to worry about dragging down your fleet too much. We're also going to be fixing what's called the hobo jamming mechanic that was allowing interdictors to too easily lock people into stations. and we're allowing Titans to use their Doomsday weapons in low sec. Finally, we're decreasing the hit points, but increasing the resistances for a lot of sovereignty structures and station services. This is going to allow you to make easier hit and run attacks on your enemies, but will also make it easier for the defenders to repair the structures if the people attacking them don't show up for the second timer.
Another big change that I've been helping out with for Phoebe is we're following on from changes we made in Creus, and we're making changes to how Invention works. Obviously when we released Creus, Invention got moved to the new system, but we said at the time that we were going to follow up because it wasn't in a place where we really wanted it. Now we're bringing it closer to where we want to go. So there's a lot of changes to kind of streamline how it works and like adjust variables and stuff to make it better. The biggest change, I guess, from a player point of view is that we are now going to allow you to queue up multiple Invention jobs from the same blueprint copy. We changed it in Creus so that now you could, doing Invention off a blueprint copy, only used one run rather than consuming the whole copy, and now you'll be able to do multiple runs off that blueprint in succession. So rather than having to log on every hour, you can set up like an overnight queue of Invention jobs off the same blueprint, and you come back in the morning, they'll all be done. So that's kind of a big quality of life change to make how you execute much better. And there's a lot of stuff being done to adjust and streamline the balance. A lot of things, we're removing racial decryptors, so the decryptors will all be compressed down into a single line. There'll be, you know, like whatever the options are now, there'll be the same options, but one of them rather than four, one for each race. We're adjusting Invention chants and the Invention formula to make it a little bit smoother and a little more understandable. We are changing skill requirements on various things. We're balancing out skills and data core use across different Invention jobs, so there's a more representative sample and the use of data core is more balanced. And like various things like this just to tune out the numbers. Reverse engineering as a separate thing is now dead. Everything is now an Invention job and you can invent from an ancient relic. CCP Ytterbium has been blogging about this quite extensively. I think he's got another one coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. It'll have all the details where you need them.